it's not clear to me that the world is better if, for all of the many, many flaws of Twitter, instead, let's say half of the Twitter, users stay on Twitter, a quarter go to some combination of Gap, Parler, Truth Social, or whatever on the right, and a quarter, go to Mastodon or whatever on the left, and we just have these sort of separate conversations from each other where we're not even capable of hearing each other. So that's where I guess I'm trying to think, if social media has effectively become the public space, the public square, it's useful to have some kind of common public square, some central square in the town where everybody comes together.
Yes, but you can build that. I mean, you're assuming that the spaces, the discursive spaces, would be worse than Twitter. After the printing press, a lot of the use of it was for pamphlets that almost led to wars in Europe, and it took 100 years for institutions of liberal democracy to emerge. But you could also imagine that there were alternatives to Twitter that have emerged that would encourage living room conversations, or conversations beyond just attacking people in 200 characters, or common town halls in communities. I mean, imagine if someone came up with an app that said, we want to convene 50 people in your community of different backgrounds and different parties to have a conversation with each other online. We have not used our imagination enough to promote a deliberative conversation or those forums, and to have those take off. Now, I have said that some of that could be a public investment. So you could have a public invested internet in communities, or a public social media that have reasonable time, place restrictions like I do in a town hall. But that can't be the only space. I mean, there are times you want outrage, there are times you want anger. I guess I've been heavily influenced by people and theorists of deliberative democracy, where sort of Habermas writes about all these ideal conditions that you need in discursive conversation. But then in Facts and Norms, he talks about how that's unrealistic in an actual democracy, and what you really need is many different types of discursive spaces. So what I would say is, let's have many different types of discursive spaces, which includes Truth Social and Twitter, as long as we're actively trying to construct the positive deliberative spaces, which they have in Taiwan, for example. Audrey Tang has done.